Hello and welcome. This is video number 4, and this is going to be about the progress trigger. Now, another motivational factor that can help boost those dopamine triggers is by showing your students where they are in the course. In other words, in practical terms, the progress bars. Now, why is this important? Well, if you think about whenever you take a quiz, how many times have you taken a quiz and thought to yourself, when is this going to end? So, as you can imagine, this is most likely going to be in your customers' minds as well, especially if they have busy lives. So, with a quiz, we found over the years what works really well to get people to finish a quiz is to have a progress bar at the very top. This allows your customer, in relation to the course, to actually see where they are in the course. So are they halfway through? Are they 10% in? Are they almost done? Where are they in terms of progress in the course? Now, in order to set up a progress bar, you either need to do some custom coding, or if you're using a WordPress site, you'll need to utilize a WordPress site plugin that integrates into your online course platform. Now, I'm going to give you some actual advice on which platforms we recommend in terms of online courses. There are many out there, but some of them have progress bars, and of course, some of them don't. Now, we can't speak for every single one out there, but one of them that does, and I find that to be really good site, is Teachable.com. So Teachable is what we call a SaaS, a software as a service. And this is not a site that you own or a WordPress plugin. It's a third-party site where you can simply register, you can easily create a course, and the progress bars are implemented inside of them. Now, this is a great way to just get up and running if you don't want to run your WordPress site, set things up, and there's less configuration in terms of how that goes. Now, I will say, in terms of the other triggers that we'll talk about later on, especially the gamification, Teachable does not have gamification built in. So you will be limited to a certain degree if you go with a SaaS third-party platform. So if you want to do gamification, which we'll talk about later, and we'll talk about different plugins that you can use that we recommend, if you go that route, you will need to have a WordPress site. So the majority of people have a WordPress site, and that's why we're going to give you different options to go about that. Now, in terms of a WordPress site, here are the WordPress plugins that you will need. There are many learning management system plugins out there, but the best of the best that we found over the years in terms of testing is LearnDash.com. LearnDash has a ton of integrations, which means if you want to do different things with your site, for example, gamification or engagement or community, you can easily do that. And because they have a big team and they're constantly coming out with updates and their integrations are there's just tons of them, this gives you the ability to expand and scale at a later date. So LearnDash.com is a learning management system. So this allows you to create your courses and allows you to utilize some, reward triggers, engagement triggers. So there's stuff built in to LearnDash that you could utilize in itself if you just wanted to stick with that. Now, if you wanted to move to the next step, you could add more gamification. So as you can see, in terms of building courses, it's really easy. And as you can see, one of the key features is it manages learner progress. So it allows not only the learner to see where they are in the course. Are they halfway? Are they 75% through the way? It allows you to see as well. In fact, if you go over here in their knowledge base, you can see that there's a course progress bar that's actually built in. Now, I will say that by default, most learning management systems should have that. If they don't, then they are most likely very outdated. So definitely look for a learning management system. If it's not LearnDash, that's fine. There's a lot out there that are great, but this is something that we have used and tested and can highly recommend. So this in itself would help with that progress trigger and allowing the user and the student to see where they are allows them to think, okay, I'm halfway, I'm just going to push forward, get this done. You see, if there's no progress bar or there's no little motivational triggers, then they're going to think, okay, I don't know where I am, but I'm just going to stop now and come back later. And a lot of times there is no later because they just get distracted and they totally forget about your course. Now we'll talk about different strategies that you can use at the end of this video course on how you can get people back to your course if they totally forgot about your course. It will cost a little bit of money, but it's well worth it in the end as you've learned so far. All right, so with that said, let's move on to the next video.